Good afternoon. My name is Simon Papendick and I'm a time-served boat builder and marine engineer, and have had 45 years experience in repairing and restoring wooden craft, very much like chance. My family and I, and the help of my brother, are on a mission to restore Chance back to her former self, with the aid of using traditional tools and methods and wood similar to what she was built originally. She is a unique James Silver in that there are no other James Silver of her type in existence. She was extremely strange that she was a motor sailor and not a motorboat or a sailing yacht, and the fact is her owner, or her original owner, was using her as a retirement vessel to view the Western Isles of Scotland during his retirement. And then when he had done that, he sailed her down to Southampton and to Cowes, where she lay for a few years before changing owners to her next owner. Over the past year, myself and my wife, my son and my brother have been meticulously taking the interior out of Chance, so now she is an empty shell with nothing in the way to stop us from repairing the hull, the ribs and any other work that needs to be done on the inside. The next job we'll have to do when we get up to Chance this next time will be to repair, well, not so much repair, but remove the last two fuel tanks and water tanks out of the boat in the cockpit, and also to make a start on cleaning the bilges out, getting the last of the ballast in the cabin which wasn't able to get out before because of the furniture in the way, and then clean the bilges from stem to stern and getting rid of anything that was in the way, and then wash it down thoroughly until it is actually absolutely crystal clean, and we can actually make an inspection of the hull and know where to go forward from there. However, the main areas of concern at the moment are the ribs in the main cabin and the sistered and doubled ribs in the aft cabin. The ones in the main cabin appear to be being broken all the way along the turn of the bilge, and having found out from the person who laid up the boat where she is lying at the moment, she was craned off transport there with no spreader bars on the slings to keep them from pinching the boat up as they lifted her. So, as they lifted her, she was pinched severely in the midships area, and it broke 12 to 14 ribs amidships and into the engine compartment. So this is a job which I didn't look forward to particularly, but now it's happened, it's going to have to be done. So the ribs will have to come out and be replaced, and this is going to mean having to take the covering boards off the decks around the main cabin area, which are 1.25 inch thick teak screwed down with bronze screws. So it's going to be fun digging out the plugs on the deck, trying to remove the screws as best as possible, and ones that don't come out, drill them out, but the covering boards will have to come off so it can be taken off, and so then the ribs can be put back in after they are steamed into the boat from through the deck, behind the gunnels, behind the beam shelves, and back onto the keel again, and then riveted back in place in the conventional copper nail and rivet methodology as it was done originally in 1948. However, in the aft cabin, which looks like a complete dog's dinner, there are so many doubled and sistered ribs of various lengths which will all have to come out and be removed so that they can be all put back as single ribs as they are on the port side, which appears to have not had any work done to it whatsoever, and the ribs are all intact along the port side as far as the engine compartment. So this is what the starboard side is going to have to be done. So with all the ribs removed from the starboard side, that will be a fun job. But there's going to be a lot of drilling holes, fitting dowels, gluing them in place, and then putting new ribs in. And once the ribs are all back in place, then we can tackle the planking, which will need to be removed underneath where the berth was before, because at the moment there are 2 missing planks and quite a few short rotten planks in the bottom of that area, which will also mean to take out the prop shafts, the stern logs, the stern tubes, the prop shafts, and so on and so forth, the A brackets. So it's going to be a lot of dismantling jobs in the aft end just to get the planks out which are rotten. And if that isn't enough, we'll have to take the transom out of the boat and refit a new triple diagonal curved transom in the boat, which is not only curved from side to side but from top to bottom. So it's going to be fun gluing that all back together again and then replacing all the plank ends at the same time. So once we've got the ribs out and they're back in, then we can tackle the major planking work that needs doing, which unfortunately, looking at the boat, it's going to mean a lot of planks from the deck head, or from the edge of the deck right down to the waterline on the port hand side, and major sections on the starboard hand side. But once they're done, then we will be able to put the boat back together again and then get on and do some more work on the inside over the summer. But in the meantime, it's going to mean an awful lot of work on planks, ribs, copper nails, rows, paint brushes, scrubbing brushes, and all hands on deck to get the boat ready to transport down from Woodplumpton in Lancashire, where she is now, down to Essex, or in particular Walton on the Naze, where my workshop is, so we can continue the restoration at my yard, hopefully over the next 2 to 3 years, with a hopefully launch date in 2026 or maybe 2027, depending on how well we get on with the job. Either way, we will have the boat back in the water by the 80th anniversary of her launch in 2028.